So Nat, here's the interesting thing, right? You wrote about Malacca Securities, which is a stockbroking and investment firm, which I didn't realize, by the way, was 50, 60 years old. When you did the story, did you realize how old they were?
I did not, because there's not a lot of information about them online. Their history part was not well written out. So when they told me that they were here since 1963, I was a bit taken aback.
Yeah, even when Bursa was known as Malayan Stock Exchange, not even KLFC, right? But the thing is, you talk to them about investing and how they want to attract young people back to the stock market. The idea of a remiser is very quaint. I mean, I suppose to our generation, it is an idea that having to call somebody to buy your shares, which is what their bread and butter is, because they're not bank-backed, they're retail. They focus more on retail, right?
Yeah.
But in the recent years, they have not been resting on their laurels. They haven't been okay with their old clientele. They've been moving into AI. So how did that happen?
Yeah, so I spoke to the executive director for Shuangming about this. Like all their peers, they realized that they need to evolve because they need to get new clientele.
Of course.
And so they've been very on the ball in observing what the new generation wants. So it's online trading, classes, and kudos to them for putting the money in to invest in their online platform a few years ago as well. And I think it's because they were so progressive and willing to put money in that they managed to be where they are today.
So when you say be where they are today, that platform does have some kind of traction. He told you that there is a lot of interest at least?
Yeah, so he doesn't give me exact numbers, but they do tell me that they have been breaking their own record in account opening every year.
Okay.
And the accounts are opened by younger and younger people every year as well. So I think that could be a sign that they are getting in new clientele, although they say that this new clientele, they don't invest as much as the baby boomers.
Of course.
But they are opening accounts, so he's like, that's a good sign.
I think it's very encouraging because our market is very thin on retailers, and Bursa themselves have been trying so hard to get young people back into the market. That's why you see revamps with some of their websites and easy tools. What are the trends that Malacca Securities had to kind of put in to get these younger people? Because let's be honest, young people don't buy shares.
Yeah, so I think a few things. One is just the infrastructure itself, so online trading, that needs to happen. And then secondly, he pinpointed on education. I think he's really big on that. He thinks that the younger generation really like to learn things online, and so they put up like a trader's journey. Like these are the things that you need to learn as when you're a novice, when you're an expert, when you're professional. And technical analysis is something that you should learn as a professional investor, for instance. And they offer classes, so workshops in person, and so there's the online to offline conversion over there. And then they introduce new tools like AI trading, where I've spoken to some investors, and it seems like that some of the younger investors are very interested in this kind of technology tools.
Yeah, AI trading, things like algorithms and sort of you don't need to speak to anybody anymore. They kind of do it all on their own. You can just plug and play.
You don't even need to monitor the markets by yourself.
He also understands that the user experience, talking about the trader's journey, must also be very seamless. Have they put a lot of money in that too?
So he told me that they, under the managing director's initiative, they invested quite a sum, I think in 2010, to set up their entire online processes, and then they revamped it 2 years ago as well. So according to him, it seems like quite a big sum.
What else are they going to do to sort of add to the user experience? Because this is no longer a case of putting in money and you walk away. It's like an AI, it evolves, right? And it learns. So what else did he tell you that he sees for the future in terms of trading?
So far, he tells me the next step they're doing is, so the trader's journey, they're going to start selling like packages. So for example, if you are a novice trader, then you can buy this package, you get the online platform, you get the education tools, you get they have a couple of tools online as well, like to invest based on momentum, live trading, and eventually algo trading as well. They're trying to look for more strategies, so more people to come on board, because that's a really new and growing area in Malaysia. It's quite common in some other countries already.
The other main thing about this story and this interview and the whole thing was that it is such a contrast. Malacca Securities, even the name sounds really old school, and they are still run by like a family business, aren't they? So they're an interesting mix. But while on one hand they still, they attract all the new people, all these tools and everything, but they still cater to their old clients, don't they? Mm-hmm. How did they do that? Because personal touch is something that's also important when you had a remisier.
So he tells me that they still keep the personal touch thing going strong. So they have 16 branches. So even actually when they were expanding on their online presence, they were expanding physically as well, because they did identify the need to keep in touch with the older clients. But at the same time, they want to emphasize that personal touch is important for the new clients as well. That's why they have the workshops that are held in their branches, and it's not like online workshops. You register online, but you attend physically.
All right. So aside from that, keeping that balance, what are the challenges he sees? Because like I mentioned earlier, retailers are very thin on the ground here. I mean, aside from education, what else does he hope to kind of pull in?
I did ask him because a lot of his, so he's still going big on retail investing, so making it easy, making it online. But a lot of his peers are going through either M&A or
going to a bank because they're non-bank backed.
Yeah, or getting starting to do corporate finance. So I did ask him if that was a possibility, and he did say like he didn't discount that possibility. So maybe we will see more things from them in the future.
For more on the stories, pick up a copy of The Edge Weekly at all good newsstands.